You're in the middle of the African savanna. It's 3 a.m. The only light is from the moon. The grass around you is taller than your waist, and the air is completely, totally silent. And then, out of nowhere, the ground beneath your feet starts to vibrate. That sound, that roar, doesn't just enter your ears, it enters your chest, your bones, your blood, and somewhere deep inside your brain, a part that's been there since the very beginning of human existence, a single thought fires up. Run. Now here's what's crazy. You're not alone in feeling that. Elephants feel it, hippos feel it, even crocodiles, animals that have survived since the age of dinosaurs, they feel it too. The lion doesn't just rule the savanna. The lion rules the mind of every creature that shares the planet with it. So today we are going on a deep dive, a full investigation into the creature that the entire animal kingdom bows to. We're going to cover its history, its body, its brain, its hunting tactics, its social structure, and the psychological fear it creates in every living thing. By the end of this video, you will understand why, for thousands of years, humans looked at the lion and said, that is a king. Before we talk about power, let's talk about history, because the lion's story didn't start in Africa. It's much bigger than that. Around 3.5 million years ago, the first lion-like creatures appeared on Earth, and for millions of years, lions were everywhere. Not just Africa, they roamed across Europe, Asia, the Middle East, and even North and South America. The cave lion, one of the largest big cats to ever walk the earth, lived alongside early humans in Europe. It was 25% bigger than today's lions, and our ancestors, carrying nothing but wooden spears, had to survive alongside this creature. Think about that. Our ancient human DNA remembers the lion, that deep, primal fear you feel when you hear a roar. That's not learned. That's inherited, passed down through hundreds of thousands of years of survival. Over time, lions disappeared from most of the world due to climate change and overhunting. Today, lions survive mainly in sub-Saharan Africa, with a small population in the Gir forest of India. But even after all this time, and after ice ages, after civilizations rose and fell, the lion is still here, still hunting, still roaring, still ruling. That alone should tell you something. Now let's get into the good stuff, the body of a lion. Because when nature built the lion, it wasn't playing around. Size and weight. An adult male African lion can weigh between 180 to 250 kilograms. That's 400 to 550 pounds. Females are slightly smaller, around 120 to 180 kilograms, but don't let that fool you. Lionesses are the primary hunters of the pride. To put that weight in context, a male lion is roughly the same weight as 3 adult men combined. And unlike those 3 men, the lion is made almost entirely of muscle. Speed. Now you might think, okay, big animal, must be slow. Wrong. A lion can sprint at speeds up to 80 kilometers per hour. That's 50 miles per hour for short bursts. It can also leap up to 11 meters in a single jump. That's 36 feet. So you have an animal that weighs as much as 3 humans, can outrun a horse in a sprint, and can clear a distance of 36 feet in one single jump. Let that sink in. The paws. Each lion paw is the size of a dinner plate, and those paws pack one of the most devastating strikes in the animal kingdom. A single paw swipe from a lion carries enough force to shatter a skull or snap the spine of a large animal. The claws are retractable, meaning they stay sharp and protected when not in use. When they come out, they're like 5 curved daggers, each up to 1.5 inches long. The bite. The lion's jaw produces between 650 to 1,000 pounds per square inch, depending on age and size. For comparison, a human bites at around 160 pounds per square inch. A lion is almost 4 times more powerful. Its canine teeth can reach 7 centimeters long enough to puncture and crush the windpipe of large prey in seconds. The mane. And then there's the mane, that iconic feature that no other cat has. The mane is not just for looks. It serves multiple purposes. First, it's protection. The thick hair around the neck shields the lion's most vulnerable area during fights, the throat and jugular vein. Second, it's a status symbol. Research has shown that lions with darker, fuller manes are perceived as more dominant both by rival males and by lionesses. A dark mane signals high testosterone, good health, and genetic strength. Third, it's intimidation. When a lion faces you with that massive mane framing its face, it looks huge, like a walking wall of muscle and fur. Nature designed the lion to look terrifying, and it succeeded. Now let's talk about the roar, because this deserves its own section. A lion's roar can reach 114 decibels. That's louder than a rock concert standing right next to the speakers, and it can be heard from 8 kilometers, nearly 5 miles away. But here's the part that scientists find truly fascinating. A lion's roar contains infrasound. That means sound frequencies below what the human ear can hear. These ultra-low frequencies travel through the ground and through the air, and they cause a physical reaction in the body of anyone, human or animal, who hears them. Muscles freeze, pupils dilate, heart rate jumps, the brain enters fight or flight mode before the conscious mind even processes what's happening. Think about that. The lion has evolved a weapon that bypasses rational thought and hits the primal brain directly. Lions typically roar at dawn and dusk to mark territory, to communicate with pride members, and to warn rivals. When a pride roars together, it's one of the most breathtaking and terrifying sounds in the natural world. And here's something interesting. Researchers played lion roars to groups of other animals in experiments. Animals that had never seen a lion in their lives, raised in captivity, completely sheltered, still showed immediate fear responses when they heard the roar. That's not learned behavior. That's genetic. The fear of the lion's roar is written into DNA across species. People think of lions as pure brute force, but the lion is also remarkably intelligent, and that intelligence is a huge reason why it sits at the top of the food chain. Strategic thinking. Lions are one of the only big cats that hunt cooperatively. Tigers hunt alone, cheetahs mostly hunt alone, leopards always alone. But lions? Lions figured out that working as a team is more effective, and not just any teamwork. Sophisticated, strategic teamwork. A typical lion hunt works like this. The pride splits into roles. Some lions, usually younger, faster females, act as wings. They circle out wide on the sides to cut off escape routes. Other lions, heavier, stronger, hold the center and act as the center force, and the remaining lions create noise and movement to drive the prey directly toward the waiting ambush. This is military strategy. Flanking, ambush positions, cutting off retreat. These lions aren't just running after food, they're planning. Memory and territory. Lions have excellent memory. They remember the layout of their territory, which areas have water, which have prey, which routes rivals use. A pride will patrol their territory regularly, leaving scent markings and scratch marks on trees to send clear messages to anyone thinking of crossing the line. Their territory can cover up to 260 square kilometers, and they know every inch of it, reading other animals. Lions also have the ability to read the body language of prey animals extremely well. They can identify which animal in a herd is injured, sick, or young, and they target that animal. Not the biggest, not the fastest, the weakest link. This calculated observational hunting is a mark of high intelligence. It's the difference between a mindless predator and a true apex hunter. Now, one of the most unique things about lions in the entire animal kingdom is the pride, the social structure. Most big predators are loners, but lions evolved to live in groups, and this social structure is a massive source of their power. A pride typically consists of 10 to 30 lions, a mix of related females, their cubs, and 1 to 4 dominant males. The females are usually sisters, cousins, aunts, a family unit that stays together for life. The role of lionesses. Here's a fact that surprises a lot of people. Lionesses do about 80% of the hunting. They are faster, more agile, and work better as a coordinated team. But don't think the male lions are just sitting around. The males have a critical role, defending the pride's territory from rival males, other predators, and threats to the cubs. Male lions fight ferociously to maintain their position. A pride takeover between males can be one of the most violent events in nature. Cubs in the future. When new males take over a pride, they often kill the existing cubs. Harsh, but true. This triggers the females to become fertile again, allowing the new males to pass on their genes. Nature is brutal, but this also means lion cubs that survive are incredibly resilient. They grow up in a competitive, dangerous world, and only the strongest make it. Cooperation beyond hunting. Lions in a pride also share childcare. Females will nurse and care for each other's cubs. This communal raising of young is rare in the animal kingdom and shows a level of social bonding that goes beyond just hunting together. The pride is not just a hunting party, it's a family, and the strength of that family unit is what makes lions so dominant. Okay, now the question everyone came for. Why does every animal fear the lion? Let's go through them one by one. Hyenas. Hyenas are no joke. They're aggressive. They hunt in large packs, and they have one of the strongest bite forces of any land animal. A pack of 30 to 40 hyenas can take down a wildebeest in minutes. But when a dominant male lion walks into a hyena feeding ground, the hyenas scatter. Every single time. Why? Because a single male lion can fight off 4 to 6 hyenas at once. And a pride of lions? The hyenas have absolutely no answer. There's footage of a single lion walking into a group of over 20 hyenas and standing its ground. Not running, not backing down, just walking forward, roaring, and the hyenas retreat. That's pure psychological dominance. Leopards. Leopards are incredible hunters. Stealthy, powerful, extremely adaptable. They can hunt animals twice their size. But against a lion, they want absolutely nothing to do with it. Leopards drag their kills up into trees, sometimes 20 feet off the ground, specifically to keep them away from lions. Because if a lion wants what you have, it takes it, and there's nothing you can do about it. Cheetahs. Cheetahs are the fastest land animals on Earth. They can reach 112 kilometers per hour, and yet a cheetah will abandon a freshly caught meal the second a lion appears, even a single lioness, because the cheetah knows speed doesn't help when the lion is already on top of you. Now here's an interesting one. Cape buffalo are one of the few animals that actually fight back against lions. A Cape buffalo weighs up to 900 kilograms at nearly 4 times a lion's weight. Their horns can disembowel a lion with one strike, and yet lions hunt them regularly. It's dangerous. Lions can and do die in these encounters, but they still do it. That fearlessness, that willingness to take on something 4 times your size is exactly why every animal respects the lion. Elephants. Even elephants, the largest land animals on Earth, weighing up to 7,000 kilograms, will show distress around lions. Adult elephants are generally safe, but lions have been documented hunting juvenile and even young adult elephants in desperate times. And elephants know this. They will group together, face the lions, and produce warning calls when lions are nearby. When a 7,000 kilogram elephant decides it needs to group up for protection against you, you know you're something special. Crocodiles. Lions and crocodiles regularly compete at water sources. Crocodiles, ancient, armored, with the strongest bite force of any living animal, will hold their ground in the water. But on land, a lion pride can drive off and even kill crocodiles. There's famous footage of lions dragging crocodiles out of the water and overpowering them on the bank. Animals that survived the dinosaurs retreating from lions. Now here's what I find truly amazing. It's not just animals that have been captivated and intimidated by lions. Humans have been obsessed with lions for all of recorded history. Ancient Egypt. In ancient Egypt, the most powerful civilization of its time, the Sphinx was built with the body of a lion. Pharaohs were depicted as lions. The goddess Sekhmet, the goddess of war and power, had the head of a lion. Why? Because the lion was the symbol of ultimate power. If you were a pharaoh and you wanted to say, I am the most powerful being in existence, you compared yourself to a lion. Ancient Rome. In ancient Rome, lions were used in gladiatorial games as the ultimate test. Throwing a gladiator into a lion's den was the most extreme punishment imaginable, reserved for the worst criminals and enemies of the state. Roman emperors kept lions as pets to showcase their power. To own a lion was to say, I control something that everything else fears. African kingdoms. Across Africa, lion symbolism is woven into the fabric of royalty and leadership. The Zulu warrior tradition glorified hunting a lion bare-handed as the ultimate proof of courage. Ethiopian emperors carried the title Lion of Judah. The lion appears on the flag and coat of arms of over a dozen nations. Medieval Europe. In medieval Europe, thousands of miles from any real lion, kings and knights still put lions on their shields, flags, and crests. England's royal coat of arms features 3 lions. Richard I was called Richard the Lionheart, the highest compliment you could give a warrior king. The lion appears in the Bible as a symbol of strength and judgment. It appears in Islamic art as a symbol of Ali, the warrior cousin of the prophet. It appears in Hindu mythology, Buddhist art, and Chinese imperial symbolism. Even though lions never lived in those regions. Every culture on every continent looked at the lion and came to the same conclusion. That is what power looks like. Now, let's be honest, because a great documentary doesn't hide the truth. The lion is not unbeatable. Lions face real challenges in the wild, and some of those challenges they lose. Injuries. Lion fights, especially between males, are incredibly dangerous. Lions regularly suffer deep gashes, broken bones, and puncture wounds. Some don't survive these fights. Even hunting is dangerous. A buffalo's horn, a zebra's kick, a giraffe's strike, these can seriously injure or kill a lion. Competition. Lions lose kills to hyena packs regularly, especially when outnumbered. They can be driven from kills by elephants. In areas where humans have shrunk their territory, lions struggle to find enough prey. Numbers. And here's the hardest truth. Lion populations are declining. From an estimated 200,000 lions a century ago, there are now fewer than 25,000 wild lions left. Habitat loss, human-wildlife conflict, and poaching are pushing the lion toward a very uncertain future. After everything we've covered today, the history, the body, the roar, the intelligence, the pride, the fear it creates, the legacy it leaves in human culture. What makes the lion truly special? I think it's this. The lion doesn't try to be the biggest. It's not the biggest. Elephants and rhinos are bigger. The lion doesn't try to be the fastest. It's not the fastest. Cheetahs are faster. The lion doesn't try to be the most armored, the most venomous, the most anything. The lion is just itself, fully, completely, unapologetically itself. It walks through the world with total confidence. It doesn't hide. It doesn't sneak. It roars and lets the whole world know it's here. And somehow, that combination of power, confidence, intelligence, and courage is enough to make every other living creature on the planet respect it. Maybe that's the real lesson of the lion. It's not about being the best at everything. It's about being completely, powerfully, fearlessly yourself. The lion is the king, not because it won every fight, but because it never stopped believing it could.